I think all humanity. I think all life is one.
So
thing.
let me ask you: are you guys into what is it? The synchronicity that
like
that
panpsychism?
idea of that like a collective unconscious, I believe is what it.
I think there's something like that.
Some deep thing that's just like innate in every person, just like this well of consciousness that we can just like tap into almost.
I don't know exactly
Maybe
what
it's a little
what
mystical
it is.
or whatever, but
From a science perspective,
so you're very hard factsy. You're very I see it. That's what I believe.
Well, I mean, science is so incredible. We know so little. I don't think you need to create any kind of magic. I think it's kind of magical in itself.
Science is magic, really. If you think about it.
Well, I think just our reality is a lot more than we can imagine. And I think there is a connection between all life. I think it's all one organism. I think all life on the planet is one organism, and maybe throughout the universe. I mean, we have, scientists know there's dark matter in space, but they can't see it. They can't find it. It's there. So what else is out there that we can't find or see or even comprehend?
Oh yeah, there's like sound waves
in multiple dimensions. There's multiple dimensions we don't have access to. Yeah. So there's so much we don't know. We may know 1% of what reality.
Yeah, we
really
don't even
is.
know it's like at the bottom of the ocean. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
There's
But I do believe that as we advance with our technology, and technology is exponential, so you can't base what we've done over the past 100 years on what we're going to do in the next 10 years. The next 10 years might be 1,000 years in advancement, or thousands of years. So I think...
Isn't it like going up exponentially? Or
yeah, it's exponential. Yeah, the growth of technology is exponential, and that's our anthill. That's what we're the conscious ants of reality that are building this technological anthill. And we don't know what it is or where it goes.
Yeah.
But I have an intuition that we will probably merge with technology. If you follow guys like Ray Kurzweil and Elon Musk and some of these other brilliant scientists and engineers.
Yeah, Elon Musk said we're already like cyborgs. That kind of
we are.
We got the phone right there. That kind of blew my mind a little bit.
So I think in 10 years we'll probably be somehow connected to technology. We'll probably link to the internet.
It'll be like a Blade Runner.
And it's funny. I was listening to a podcast this week with. Have you heard of Lex Friedman? He's a scientist.
Sounds like a scientist. That sounds like a
alien
scientist.
podcast.
No, it's he's a computer scientist. He's a brilliant dude, and he had a guy on there from Harvard, actually, one of the guys that does psychedelic studies. But this guy's also really big into technology, and he said he thinks that we will, because we're doing some really cool stuff with genetics right now too. Like at Harvard, actually, they're doing some insane genetic research where they're trying to reverse aging. They believe they can cure the disease of death.
Oh, Jesus.
And even in the near future, they can start reversing your age. So there's a chance we may live to be hundreds of years old. But even if we don't,
do we need to though?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. But I think
I don't want to be hundreds of years old.
Well, you don't today. But if you increase your intelligence by 1 million times or 1 billion times, you wouldn't be the same thing either. So I think that once we start merging with the technology in about 10 years, possibly.
Yeah, and they're talking about like uploading your mind or whatever into.
Well, think about it this way. So if they,
we need some stacks.
If they do something like what Elon Musk has, which is Neuralink, which is an implant, which I think it'll probably be more like what Ray Kurzweil believes, it's going to be like nanotechnology they can insert in your cerebral cortex that interacts with technology and allows us to interact with each other. So at that point, we can interact telepathically, and I could just say, hey, check out this experience I had. I went out west and checked out this cool place, and I just send you that information. Yeah. You take it in, and you had the same experience, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, was that you or me?
You don't know.
Are you me?
You can't separate reality anymore.
And then we become one thing, right? Or we have some kind of firewall technology where we still remain individuals, but we can share exponentially with each other, and at that point, you got to think about this too. If you become 1 million times, or say you become millions of times more intelligent because you've been enhanced, well, at that moment, time stops. We're talking about psychedelics. When it's a psychedelic experience, time can cease, right?
Yeah.
And it's like your brain is going so fast. You have unlimited amounts. Like you're in eternity.
Yeah, it feels like you're in the same moment almost.
For a minute.
Yeah, it's like a single, never-ending moment. You know?
But so with this kind of technology, if you could become millions or billions of times more intelligent, well, if I were millions of times more intelligent than you, and you asked me a question,
You probably are.
but you asked
you know so much about this stuff.
if you asked me a question in the 1 second it took me to respond to your question, I would have
A million answers, yeah.
well, I would have the equivalent of maybe a year or years of time to think about an answer.
Yeah.
So I would be doing all this other stuff while I'm talking to you.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, if we're all like that, then we suddenly have infinite amounts of time. So if you become that intelligent, your brain is able to process information so quickly, time stops. Then maybe we actually start operating in a different dimension. Maybe we have like this virtual dimension that we live in, that we occasionally come out every 1,000 years to eat, which in our human time is a couple hours. But in that other dimension that we're living in our minds, that's just as real as this, that's 1,000 years. We're like these eternal beings that could just live in this virtual world.
What is time?
So that's it. Time is relative, right?
That's interesting.
And time may not even be real. Actually, time and space may not be real. We all may be in one singularity. We may be in one point of information, and we're just data.
See,
We
this
just
idea
perceive
of
it.
time isn't real. My thing with that, though, is I feel like time's objectively real. I feel like
Well,
we could all, you live.
Time
then
is
you're
real for
born.
us.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there is,
Yeah.
like, in the sense that, like, time passes. I mean, the idea of, like, oh, it's an hour or whatever, that's, relative or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, you do objectively age and, come to an end and stuff like that.
Well,
you do see time pass you by. I mean, you see the world change.
You
I guess.
experience
Yeah.
what you perceive time.
That's time.
But also,
isn't that time?
if I'm accelerating, if I can get into a spaceship and accelerate at a certain speed, we're at the speed of light, I will age dramatically slower than you.
Yeah.
Like, my experience of time would be different than yours. So I could blast off in
Yeah.
a spaceship.
Oh, like Interstellar.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good movie.
Or if you're close to
No one talks about it.
a big object, you're gonna, time is gonna be different. Time is relative based on gravity and based on speed. The faster you move, the slower your time moves.